Hey y'all, this is Tina. I'm here today to share my Angel Dreamcrafts Kim design team project for August. I'm a little late as usual. I haven't been feeling very well the past few days, so I was running behind. But I finally got her finished. This is a little book here that I've made. First of all, let me share Kim's information with you. This is her card. She's Angel Dreamcrafts Kim. She has an Etsy shop. Y'all go and visit her shop and get you some goodies to play with. She has a little bit of everything in there, and I know you'll see something that you want. It's all beautiful things. This is her, I hope the camera's picking this up. This is her email if you have any questions for her. She's on Instagram, and she has a YouTube, Angel Dreamcrafts Kim. So that is her information there. So I have made this little mini pocketbook. It's about 6 inches by 4 or 5 if you count all the lush on the edges here. So this is the cover. Let me go ahead and I've just got this tied together. I wasn't even going to put a tie, and she was so chunky when I got through. I had to put some kind of little closure. I did not glue this on, so it just comes off. So, but this is the cover here, and this is a little birdie themed book. Of course, you know I love little birdies, and I had some little cutouts that were already inked and ready to go, so that's what I went with. And I've been wanting to do another little bird book because my little doily book that I had, the little birds, that one sold in my Etsy. So this will be replacing that one in my Etsy for anyone else who loves little birdies. So on the cover here, first of all, let me say this. I made this little mini out of a lady's blouse, and I will show you once we get inside some of what it looked originally. On the cover here, I did put some lace on the background here. Just to give it that, I wanted to bring in the creams, the whites. So the blouse was white, so, and it was really thin. So, and you'll see as I turn these pages, they're really thin. It's not very heavy. It wasn't heavy until I put all the embellishment, y'all. But you know I go crazy with the embellishing. But it's okay, because I think she's precious, so it's all good. But I did line the front here and the back with some lace. And this is Kim's beautiful little sparkle trim with the sequins that we all love. I'm still hoarding some of that. Using little pieces, a little bit goes a long way. This is her beautiful little bow that I got in my design team kit. Precious. I just had this fabric in my stash, and I made its little bow and put that on top. And this was Kim's beautiful little pearl and bling flat back that I put in the corner here. This is her gorgeous trim here. And this pink lace is her gorgeous lace. I love it. And I think I'm out. I think I used almost all of that. So down the spine here, I've just added something that I had in my stash, and I put some pink ribbon just to cover that up. Now, I did just sew this book together. I sewed the pages together. I'll show you, because this was made from a lady's blouse, like I said. And on the back here, this was Kim's pretty little flower here. And this was a little pink doily that she had sent me in a Happy Mail. It's been a little bit since I've been hoarding it. But I decided to use it. But let me tell you what I did. I cut the center out, y'all. This was the center of it. I hope I'm in the camera. Sorry, I feel like I was way over here. I cut this out so that I still have a little piece of it. So I was still hoarding a little bit. But see what you could do. So you just cut that center out, and that gives you 2 separate pieces to play with. So I just put this beautiful little shabby and let this be the outline of it. So I love the way that looks, and it brings all my colors together. And it's soft, and I just love to play with that. Anyway, moving on. So like I said, this was made from a lady's blouse. You might can see a little bit in here. I will show you on the other pages where you can really see what the blouse looked like. So, and this is the way that my brain works, y'all. I was thrifting, as you know I love to do, and I love repurposing. So I spotted this blouse, and the way that it was cut and made, the minute I saw it, my brain just went to work and was like, oh, I've got to have that to make a book out of. And it just came to me just like that. So I've been holding on to these, what I call my pages, because as I dismantled this blouse, I dismantled it in the way that, let me take this out and maybe you can see. This was the blouse right here. I didn't do anything. This is the original material. It had this lace already on it. And if you look, well, you won't be able to see because I've sewn it together, but it was like this, and then it had another page or another piece over here, and it had the lace down the middle between the squares. So when I saw that, I thought, well, how easy will that be to do a fabric book, because you could fold those pages together, and that's exactly what I've done here. And I sewed down the middle, and there you go, perfect little fabric book. But like I said, this material was very thin, so I have lined a couple of the pages. But most of them I think I left just original. So they are thin pages. Okay, with that being said, this is that gorgeous pink lace that shows from the front here. These I had in my stash. I did line this one with that precious little pink heart tulle that I've had in my stash forever, that I'm still hoarding a little bit of. I'm using little pieces of it. I'm making it last, y'all. This is just, I think this was just a piece of lace I had in my stash that I wanted to just put behind the little birdies here. And I wanted that little touch of cream on top of the whites. And over here we have this beautiful little heart that was in my design team package. And let me show you what I've done here. I love taking things apart and using them in different ways. So this little flower up here and these two little pieces of flower were what was connected. This was the bottom. That was right here. This piece was in the middle, and then this sat on top. So it was like that originally. So I took it off, and I love the rose that was underneath. I love these, don't get me wrong, but I wanted to be able to use them, get more out of them, you know what I'm saying. So I took it apart. I put one of them up here that matches with Kim's pretty little sparkly heart there. And I made that my little pocket, my little side tuck pocket. Y'all, I wasn't feeling well. I haven't been feeling well the past few days, and I struggled to get through with this because I'm very shaky. I'm having really bad heart palpitations, and my anxiety is very high. So y'all bear with me. I struggled to get through with this, and so the ephemera that I've put in these little pockets is very basic, and then not like me at all, because usually I spend as much or more time on the ephemera that I do on the actual project, and I just did not have the strength to do it. So I have made some very basic little ephemera pieces that that can be written on. I had some ready-made card here that I have just made this little booklet in the color that matches, very pretty. So that tucks right in there. Y'all, bear with me if I get really shaky because I feel it coming on. Anyway, I had to limit my coffee this morning because I was already so shaky. This next page, let me go ahead and take this out. I thought I had a piece of this out to show you, but I don't. But this was a double trim here. Well, you can see that it was a double trim. And most of you that follow Kim and our projects, you've probably seen this bunches of times because I love it. The little polka dots are so sweet. But I have just made a pocket. I didn't glue this down so you can, you know, it lifts up. I wanted it to just be free, you know. And then, you know, there's your little tuck spot. And then I just trimmed it off at the top with some blue that matches the little birdies over here. I have taken this beautiful trim here. Let me see if I have a piece of that to show you. For those who haven't seen it, this gorgeous trim here. Oh my goodness, this is one of my absolute favorites, y'all, because it can be used so many ways. And as you see here, I've taken this one little piece, you know, off the bottom. I've taken these little flowers here and just embellished right here on the edges, and I think that looks so sweet. Sorry y'all, I know I'm shaking. My voice may start shaking on y'all. This little trim here is vintage that I had in my stash. Over here, this next page And Kim's beautiful little, let me pull this up here so y'all can see this beautiful little charm. And I've been waiting to use one of these because I wanted to do this other bird book. It's so cute. Let's see, this trim, like I said, was already on the blouse. So easy. This little trim here, it looks very vintage, I'm not sure, but this is something that Kim had in one of my packages also that she sent me. I love it. It is so pretty, so soft. So I just backed these little birdies with some of that. And that's that page. And in this little pocket, like I said, these are very basic. I didn't even ink, y'all. That is not like me at all. I just didn't have the strength, like I said. So it's just a little card that you can journal in. So I may come back, because I probably will put this in my Etsy for sale. I may come back and change these. But for now, just to show the book, they're very basic. So if you watch this video and then you might be interested in this book later, I may change the ephemera when I'm feeling better. So here on this page, this is again some vintage trim I had in my stash. This is the other side of the fabric. Like this part of the shirt, the blouse was raised and this part was flat. Excuse me. I made a little belly band here with Kim's gorgeous trim, and then I've just blinged it up with some little rhinestones. And this is part of a beautiful trim that was Kim's, and it had the perfect colors. I just made this little, I had this already made. It's just a card that was already, you know, front and back, and I have just folded it into like a little, you can just unfold it and you can journal, and the colors match. So I just put that right down into there. Sorry, I'm so shaky. And this precious little image, and I can't remember whose digitals I got these from. I've had these for over 2 years, and I keep them on hand because, you know, I love the birdies. This is some tulle that, I can't remember if that's Kim's tulle or not. It is her tulle. This is part of the other dot trim that matches this trim that I had in this color. And I have taken that, you can see the little dots here. I've taken what little scraps I had left and just made that little ruffle go all the way around the birds. So I am using every little last piece of my trims, which I love. These are Kim's beautiful little roses here, and this is her beautiful little ribbon that I got recently. So that is that page. And then this page here, I love that. That's so sweet. This is another sweater blouse that I had in my stash that I have cut up and made into a pocket. I love the white and cream. This cream lace is attached already to this. So I have added Kim's gorgeous trim up here at the top. And I have just put some little rhinestones. I'm sorry, I'm so shaky, y'all. I've added a little bow and put another little rhinestone there. Let's see, over here, I think all I did over here, this beautiful tulle that has the little dots. I hope you can see that. That is Kim's tulle that has the little polka dots, and I thought that matched so cute for the raindrops. So I have put that here. Sorry, y'all, I've gotten, my book has gotten all twisted on me here. Okay, so that's her tulle, and these are her beautiful little flowers. I love the way they just match. So cute with that. So that is that page. And then the next page here. Oops. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry, y'all. Another little basic card here that you can write in. And this one was backed already. With some, or it was two-sided, not backed, but it was two-sided colored paper here. The card that I had in my stash. So I pulled what already was matching, y'all. And this is Kim's little trim. Also from a different trim that I love. And I think I've used the last little pieces of that I had. So, I'm down to some of my last little bits that I've made them last a long time though. This is one of my new trims I got from Kim that is gorgeous. These colors are so pretty together. And here I've just added these little beads to bring out more of the blue, some little crystal, the little rhinestones there. I made that a little tuck, and I did cut it apart, and I don't have a piece of that. I don't have a piece of that handy to show you what it looked like. Let's see if I can get to it, y'all. I should have thought and left a piece of it out because it looks so different. Here it is. Hang on just a second. It looks so different when you cut it apart. This is what it looks like. Isn't that gorgeous? So you see I have just taken, you know, one of these little sections here. And then another page in this book, I've taken just this section right here. So you can use her trams so many ways. So y'all go get y'all some. Play with them. Another little card here. This is just a basic little card. And I put some pink on the background here so you would have somewhere to write. So that just tucks right there. And then over here, this is Kim's blue trim here that I have ruffled on the back of this photo. And I believe these were in my stash, and this little bow was in my stash. And I have put the same little blue over here just to pull the colors together. And then the next page, this is my center page. You know I love to do the pockets in the middle. So this is her gorgeous fabric again with the sparkles. I love it. It is so beautiful. So I have put the same down the spine here that I did on the outside. This is Kim's trim. It was cut it into pieces again. I had these two pieces were the only two I had left, besides little tiny pieces that I'm not sure is usable, but I will try. So I wanted to include those. And this is her trim also. It is beautiful. I hope you can see that. I'm sorry, I'm shaking. Two tags here, very basic, did not ink them or anything. This is Kim's beautiful little rose trim here that I've added to the top of the little tags. Oh my goodness, y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm butterfingers. Like, and I feel like I'm shaking all over. Okay, the next page. This precious little bird. I think this is the tulle that I had in my stash. It was kind of a peachy color, so it went with the photo. This is just a little flower here I had in my stash. And over here, this is one of my new laces that is absolutely gorgeous. Another favorite that you can clip apart and use so many ways. And so I have taken a part of the flower and I've just, you know, spread it up here just a little bit, just to pull it all together. This card here, I put another little piece that I clipped off. As you see, this was like one of these pieces here to put on here, and you open that up and you can journal inside of that. And so that just tucks in there. And this next page here, the blue and pink is so pretty together. And I do believe these were in my stash. This is Kim's gorgeous daisy. I call it daisy trim. I'm not sure if that's really a daisy. It may be a sunflower. I guess it could be either. But I've put some little pink bling in the middle here just to pull the colors together. And over here, this was another blouse that I took apart. And I made a little pocket. I love these little circles that it has. So I've made a pocket, and in the middle, I've just added the blues. I made a little blue tag here. Just put in the pocket. And added the pink bow to pull the colors together. And this is from a trim that I had in my stash. And this next page here, this is Kim's, some of my new trim here. It's beautiful little pink and white. Let me see if I have that. I left a couple of things out, but I should have left them all out so you could see what they look like. That is this gorgeous trim. As you can see, I have taken little pieces, and you can use it in so many ways. See, I've taken just little pieces here at the top of my page. And then as you can see on this page, I've taken just one of the single little flowers from over here, or, you know, off the lace and added over here to this side. And as you can see, this is the bottom part of the other trim that I showed you, that I've made a little side pocket here. And yeah, it all is so cute together. And then this little card goes down in this pocket here. And then this is one of Kim's little trims. It's so sweet. And this is another just large piece of paper that you can just journal on the inside when it's opened up. So that is that page. And this page here. Let's see. Oh, I got to tell you about this, because this is one thing that I was so glad that it came out the way that I had envisioned. So y'all do that. I'd get these ideas come in my brain, and I'm just like, where did that come from? This here on this page was, I had to show you this because this is the very last piece that I have of this gorgeous baby little gathered ruffle trim here of Kim's. That, oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. But you see what I've done here. I have taken a little piece and I have made me a flower like that. I have taken this centerpiece here, was taken. This is another one of Kim's beautiful trims that you can see I've been shopping on. But I have taken this central flower here and put in the middle here to make me a flower. I've taken that and put in the middle of that now. And then this beautiful bling, just to top it off. Look how gorgeous that little flower is. I was so happy with the way that came out. I think that is just so sweet. Over here, let me tell you about this before I go here. This is this trim here, which I love. So I have taken two little pieces of this. I did it like this. Of course, I cut it in two, and then I put them like this, and I put one on top of the other, like that. And I have trimmed it down some so that it wouldn't hide the whole entire page. I cut this down smaller, but I've made me a belly band. And then I've used Kim's gorgeous trim down the center here where I pieced the two together. And I think that came out so cute. Looks like a little ruffle. And I've just pieced them together like that. And then put your trim down the center so you can use it so many ways, y'all. This gorgeous trim at the top here, I've just taken one of these beautiful flowers. And I think it looks so pretty with this one because they have that shine. And so then over here, I've taken the tool that I cut off because I cut it way down. I've taken that tool here and made this double bow out of the leftovers, the little scrappy pieces. I'm not sure if that shows up. But I've just made a little bow, just a little shabby bow, and put one of her other, this is the last one out of this pretty trim that I had of Kim's. So cute. So that is that. And then this little card, this little trim, this little flower here came off of, let's see, it was a couple pages back here. Nope. All right, where'd you go? There you are. It was one of these little flowers here, and they have gold in the middle. And so I have used that on top of here because it just matches that. It's so cute. And this is another just little card that you can write in. It tucks down in the belly band. I'm sorry, y'all. This little belly band is a little tight. I should have cut a little bit extra off the width of my card here. But it fits. It's just a little fussy. Okay, last page, y'all. That's the little card that sticks down in that little side tuck there. This is Kim's gorgeous bling here. I had this little butterfly in my stash, and so I wanted to include this. I have just put this on top of this little butterfly. This is her gorgeous little trim here. Over here, this is the last little velvety flower. I believe I've had this since last fall, maybe last Christmas. And I think I have This might have been my last one, but I loved them. They are so soft, so sweet. I think this might have been my last one. And let's see, that's a bow I had in my stash. This came off of a little girl's dress that the colors were perfect. And this little card here, there again, it's just a little basic card, something just to tuck in the, little something to tuck in the pocket, y'all. Bear with me. Okay, y'all, I think that's gonna do it. That is my little design team project, and thank you for staying with me. I'm sorry I'm so shaky. At least, hopefully I got through the tutorial, or not the tutorial, but the video. Y'all please go visit Angel Dream Crafts Kim. Show her card again. This is her Etsy address. Go buy you some of these goodies to play with. I know you'll come up with something that you can make with all her goodies, because they're very easy to work with. They're so much fun. And please be sure and go and visit all the designers on the team, and I will link them in the description box. And hopefully I will see you again soon. Everybody have a great weekend coming up. Bye, y'all.